I have also posted a video of yesterday's lecture on the WhatsApp group.
Yes.
So today I am going to deliver a lecture on transport of energy in gases. Okay. So this topic is also important from the examination point of view. The question may also be asked on this topic. So sometimes 2 marks question, 2.5 marks question or 2 marks question can be asked on the transport of energy, or sometimes the derive an expression for the thermal coefficient of thermal conductivity of gas. Such type of question may also be asked. So my presentation includes introduction, transport of momentum that we have seen yesterday, and then we will see the transport of energy, and after that we will derive an expression for coefficient of thermal conductivity of a gas. Later on we will see the effect of temperature and pressure on thermal conductivity of gas, and lastly we will discuss about the relation between the coefficient of thermal conductivity and coefficient of viscosity. So what is meant by the transport of momentum that we have seen yesterday? So what is the transport of momentum? So for this transport of momentum we will consider the ideal gas, and the molecules of the ideal gas are in the different layers, and the molecules which are in the different layers will move with the different velocity. It means that there will be the relative motion between the layers of the gas with respect to the one another. For that purpose I have given one example that 2 bike riders are riding the bike, and they are their hands are in one others. Then the bike rider which is moving with a higher velocity will try to move the bike rider which is moving with a slower velocity. So its velocity will be increased, whereas otherwise the bike rider which is moving with a slower velocity will try to reduce the velocity of the faster moving bike rider, like this. So there is a relative motion between the 2 layers which are moving in the different velocity, which are moving with the different velocities. So this will give rise to the phenomenon of viscosity, and it arises due to the transport of momentum. Here what is the momentum? Momentum is nothing but mass multiplied by velocity. So due to the difference in the momentum of the different layers, so there will be the phenomenon of phenomenon of the viscosity of a gas. Now today we are going to see the transport of energy. So again here we will consider the different layers of the ideal gas, and the molecules which are in the different layers of the gas are having the different temperatures. So temperature of a gas may not be the same throughout. So in such case molecule of a gas will carry the thermal energy from a region of higher temperature to a region of lower temperature to bring the equilibrium state. So this energy is in the form of heat, and this gives rise to the phenomenon of thermal conductivity, and it arises due to the transport of energy from one place to the one layer to the another layer. So different layers of a ideal gas are having the different energies, different temperatures. and therefore this will give rise to the phenomenon of thermal conductivity, and it arises due to the transport of energy. So then we will obtain an expression for the coefficient of thermal conductivity of a gas. So this expression is very important from the examination point of view. So the phenomenon of thermal conduction is considered as a phenomenon of the transport of energy. For that purpose, again we will consider a fixed mass of a gas at rest in the vessel as shown in the figure, and this fixed mass of a gas is nothing but in the form of a layers. There are the different layers. So gas consists of different layers parallel to the x-axis. This gas is flowing along the x-axis, along the OX plane. So the gas consists of different layers parallel to the x-axis. Suppose there is a rise of temperature along the OZ axis. Along this OZ axis, temperature goes on increasing. So I have shown here the three layers, layer A, layer B and layer C. All the three layers are having the different temperatures, and the layer which is in contact with the OX is having the temperature 0, and the layers which are above this layer OX, they are having the different temperatures. So temperature goes on increasing as we move above the OZ axis, above the OX axis in the direction OZ. OZ डायरेक्शन में जैसे जैसे ऊपर अपन जाते जाएंगे वैसे वैसे उसका टेम्परेचर, डिफरेंट लेयर का टेम्परेचर जो है वो बढ़ते जाएगा. सो देयर इज अ टेम्परेचर ग्रेडियंट अलोंग द Z डायरेक्शन. टेम्परेचर इज वेरिंग अलोंग द Z डायरेक्शन. So in the steady state, the temperature of each layer parallel to the OX is the stationary, and the temperature, let T be the temperature of the layer A which is at a distance Z from O. What we consider? We will consider one particular layer, that is the layer A, which is at a distance Z from the OX. Okay. So all the molecules in the layer A will have the same temperature. Okay. So all the molecules which are in the layer A are having the same temperature, and hence this same heat energy. Same heat energy. Okay. So let E be the mean heat energy of a molecule of a gas in layer A. So layer A की energy कितनी है? Capital E is the energy of the heat energy of the molecules in the layer A, and that heat energy is the same for all the molecules which are lying in the layer A. Then the amount of heat energy Q flowing normally through the unit area of a layer A per unit time in the positive Z direction is given by, that is the Q is equal to, so it is the amount of heat energy, it is equal to minus times K into dt by dz. We have seen the dt by dz. What is the dt by dz? Dt by dz is nothing but the temperature gradient, and this temperature goes on increasing along the Z direction. So and here K, what is K? K is the coefficient of thermal conductivity of the gas, and this coefficient of thermal conductivity of the gas is to be determined. Okay. So here the negative sign shows that the heat flows from higher temperature to the lower temperature. Heat always flows from higher temperature to the lower temperature. Again we will consider the two different layers. Again we will consider the two different layers, layer B and layer C, parallel to the layer A. Each of these layers B and C is at a distance lambda from the layer A. both these layers B and C are at a distance lambda from the layer A, where lambda is the mean free path of a molecule of a gas. Then the heat energy of each molecule in the layer B is, so I have told you that as we move along the Z direction, the heat energy goes on increasing. So therefore, the layer A is having the energy E. So this B layer will have the energy less than the E, and that will be E is equal, that energy is the energy of the molecules in the B layer is E minus lambda into dE by dZ. Similarly, the heat energy of each molecule in the layer C is E plus lambda into dE by dZ. So, energy of the layer C is more than the energy of the A layer, and therefore E plus sign is there, lambda into E plus lambda into dE by dZ. Now, let m be the mass of each molecule of a gas, let n be the number of molecules per unit volume in the gas, and C bar be the average velocity of the molecule at temperature T. Then according to the kinetic theory of gases, we have seen previously that the molecules of the gas can move in all possible directions with all possible velocities. So molecule of the gas are moving in the three directions, along the x direction, along the y direction, and along the z direction. So molecules are moving in the three different directions. So 1/3 molecules, whatever the molecules are there in the ideal gas, out of that all molecules, 1/3 molecules will move along the x-axis, 1/3 molecules will move along the y-axis, and 1/3 molecules will move along the z-axis. And therefore, if we consider the n be the number of molecules per unit volume, then n by 3 molecules per unit volume will move along the z direction, isn't it? What we have considered? We have considered the 1 by 3 molecule, n by 3 molecules which are moving in the x direction, n by 3 molecules are moving along the y direction, and n by 3 molecules per unit volume will move along the z direction. So we will consider here only the z direction, and along that z direction the n by 3 molecules per unit volume will move along the positive z direction. And we know that there are the two z axis, one is the positive z direction and another is the negative z direction, and therefore as the n by 3 molecules are moving along the z direction, then half of this molecules, that is the n by 6 molecules per unit volume will move along the positive z direction, and n by 6 molecule per unit volume will move along the negative z direction. Okay, and therefore the number of molecules passing downward from layer C to layer B per unit area per unit time is given by, so n by 6, these are the number of molecules, n by 6 is the number of molecules multiplied by C bar, that is the average velocity of each molecule of the gas, and that will give the number of molecules passing downwards from layer C to layer B per unit area per unit time is Nc bar upon 6. Now, hence the mean heat energy carried by the molecules in the upward direction per unit area of layer A per unit time from the layer C is given by H1 is equal to number of molecules multiplied by energy of that layer. So here there is a mistake, it should be the B, layer B, that is the mean heat energy carried by the molecules in the upward direction from the layer A per unit time from the layer B. It should be the B. That is given by H1 is equal to NC bar upon 6 into E minus lambda into dE by dZ. So E into lambda into dE by dZ is nothing but the heat energy of the molecules which are in the layer B, not the C. Similarly, the mean heat energy carried by the molecules in the downward direction per unit area of layer A per unit time from the layer C, it should be the C, is given by H2 is equal to, again the number of molecules multiplied by the energy of that layer. So number of molecules which are moving from layer C to the layer B is number NC bar upon 6 and multiplied by energy of that layer, that is E plus lambda into dE by dZ. Okay. Then therefore the net transport of heat energy, mean heat energy per unit area of layer A per unit time in upward direction is given by H1 minus H2. Whatever be the
सर
yes?
वहाँ पे लेयर B to C था क्या सेकंड इसमें?
हाँ, पहले ये यहाँ पे जो है ये 3 लेयर अपन ने कंसिडर किया. ए लेयर में से एनर्जी ट्रांसफर हो रही है दूसरे लेयर की तरफ, सी लेयर से एनर्जी ट्रांसफर हो रही है बी लेयर की तरफ, और बी लेयर से हीट एनर्जी ट्रांसफर हो रही है ए लेयर के सी लेयर की तरफ. ओके, तो यहाँ पे क्या आया है, mean heat energy carried by the molecules in the upward direction per unit area of layer A per unit time from the layer B. ये यहाँ पे जो है वो B होना चाहिए. तो H1 is equal to NC bar upon 6 into E minus lambda into dE by dZ. ओके, और ये यहाँ पे जो लेयर B दिया है वो B नहीं है, वो रहेगा C लेयर. Okay, so energy, mean heat energy carried by the molecules in the downward direction per unit area of a layer A per unit time from the layer B is given by, from the layer it is the C, not the B. Okay, so H2 is equal to NC bar upon 6 number of molecules multiplied by E plus lambda into dE by dZ. समझ में आया? ये यहाँ पे B चाहिए और ये यहाँ पे C चाहिए. B के जगह पे C, C के जगह पे B. Okay. Then we will obtain the net transport of mean heat energy per unit area of a layer A per unit time in upward direction is given by H1 minus H2. It is equal to minus times 1 by 3 NC bar into lambda into dE by dZ. So from the equation 1 and 2, left hand side of the equation, so here we will equate the two equation, equation 1 and equation 2, we get minus k into dt by dz, it is equal to minus time 1 by 3 n c bar into lambda into dE by dz. And from this minus sign get cancelled, we get k is equal to 1 by 3 n c lambda dE by dz into dz by dt. So dz get cancelled and we get k is equal to 1 by 3 n c bar lambda into dE by dz. This is the equation number 3. Now let E be the energy of a molecule of mass m, and the energy of unit mass of a gas is U is equal to what we are obtaining? We are obtaining the energy of unit mass. So U is equal to E by m, and according to the definition of specific heat capacity Cv at constant volume, Cv is equal to rate of change of heat energy, rate of change of heat energy, that is du by dt at constant volume, it is equal to 1 by m into dE by dt at constant volume. And from this we get dE by dt at constant volume, it is equal to m into Cv, where m is the mass of each molecule of the gas and Cv is the specific heat at constant volume. And therefore, substituting the value of dE by dt in the equation number 3, we get K is equal to 1 by 3 into N into C bar into lambda into dE by dt, and instead of that dE by dt we will substitute the m into Cv, mass multiplied by specific heat at constant volume. And therefore, K is equal to 1 by 3. This m into N, we get Mn into C bar into lambda into Cv. So here Mn is nothing but density of a gas. So instead of this Mn we will substitute the rho. Therefore we get K is equal to 1 by 3 rho into C bar into lambda into Cv, where Mn, mass multiplied by N, number of molecules per unit volume, that will give us the density of the gas. So equation 4 is nothing but the expression for coefficient of thermal conductivity of a gas. So this is the expression for the thermal conductivity of a gas. This expression is very important from the examination point of view. So sometimes the question may, the problem may also be asked based on this expression for coefficient of thermal conductivity of a gas. तो प्रॉब्लम भी इसके ऊपर में पूछा जा सकता है, या तो फिर ये एक्सप्रेशन डिराइव करने के लिए भी आपको पूछा जा सकता है. So after this expression for coefficient of thermal conductivity of a gas, we will see the effect of temperature and pressure on the thermal conductivity of the gas. So we know that K is equal to 1 by 3 rho into C bar into lambda into Cv. So we have the expression for the mean free path, lambda is equal to 1 upon under root of pi sigma square n, and this n we will obtain in terms of density and mass. So we get lambda is equal to m upon under root of 2 into pi sigma square rho. The average molecular speed is given by C bar is equal to under root of 8 kT upon pi m, where K is the Boltzmann's constant, T is the absolute temperature, and m is the mass of each molecule of the gas. And therefore, substituting for lambda and C bar in the equation 1, we get both these values of lambda and C bar is to be substituted in the equation of K, and therefore we get K is equal to 1 by 3 into rho into kT upon under root of kT upon pi m multiplied by under root of mCv upon under root of 2 pi sigma square rho. And from this we get K is equal to, here this is the under root of 8. Under root of 8 is nothing but 2 into under root of 2. 8 is nothing but, under root of 8 is nothing but 2 root 2. So root 2 get cancelled. We get only the 2 here. So we get 2 by 3, and here m and this m we get under root of K is equal to 2 by 3 Cv upon pi sigma square under root of m kT upon pi. And from this expression we can say that coefficient of thermal conductivity of a gas is directly proportional to the square root of absolute temperature. And again here, as we have seen previously in case of the coefficient of viscosity of a gas, so coefficient of viscosity of a gas is also directly proportional to the under root of absolute temperature, and it is the coefficient of thermal conductivity, coefficient of viscosity, both are directly proportional to the square root of absolute temperature, and they are independent of the pressure or density, pressure P or density rho of the gas. So this thermal conductivity depends only on the absolute temperature and not on the pressure or density of the gas. So lastly we will see the relation between the thermal conductivity K and the coefficient of viscosity for a gas. We have seen the expression for the coefficient of viscosity of a gas, that eta is equal to 1 by 3 rho into C bar into lambda. And we have also seen the expression for the coefficient of thermal conductivity of a gas as K is equal to 1 by 3 rho C bar lambda into CV. So here this 1 by 3 rho C bar into lambda is nothing but the eta, and therefore we get K is equal to eta times CV. What is the K? Coefficient of thermal conductivity. It is equal to the coefficient of viscosity multiplied by CV, specific heat at constant volume. Okay. So that is about the relation between the K and eta. So that is today's presentation. If you have any query, then you may ask.